Final. Okay, Daily Warzone Final. I think my opening of choice tonight will be 1b3 instead of b4, which was orangutan last night. I think I had a lot of technical difficulties last night in several games with b4. One thing which I didn't really expect was c5, c4 being actually a really dangerous threat in a lot of instances. I really don't understand the orangutan as much as I thought. I think with Basman's G4 many years back, actually I'd actually listened to a training cassette tape of Basman, so I had some clue of some of the concepts, but with B4 I'm really lost on it. So, but with B3, Nimzo Larsen, I have played that quite a bit, and Nakamura won the ICC Open a couple of years back. There's a video on the channel how Nakamura won the ICC Open. So I've picked up, I think, some tips from that. So I hope it's more interesting than last night. I just felt there were too many liabilities with 1b4 or aiming for b5, especially with the black pieces. I just felt in trouble all the time. So for a lot of games last night. So let's see tonight. Okay. Okay, so it's starting soon, I think. Actually, did I mention in the stream room? I mentioned it in the stream room. Okay, seized. Oh, is my first game not starting? Okay. So, Nimzo Larsen attack with white. And as black it's called Owen's defense, I think. Well, it depends if it's e4 or d4. But I'm more comfortable, I think, with this, because I'm trying to control the e5 square. There isn't... I think I'm, a lot more comfortable with this. Well, I suspect... Well, I am, basically, more comfortable with this than b4, I think. No, I'm pretty sure. So f4's hanging here. Okay, this looks good for that c file and f6. And there looks to be nice pressure here. Okay, I couldn't go into that e6, so I can swap off here. I can still go in for e6. That looks very pleasant. Let's get the light square bishop. Maybe just winning c6 is good enough. Not yet. Okay, if I take... Let's bishop c4 on the cards. Once I take on c6, so bishop c4. Okay, I could take here as well. Even with just the pin on the rook. Very pleasant. I would have thought. Couldn't I not just won another pawn there? Okay, did I just blunder? Can I go for rook g8? Is that doing anything? Okay, not much of an advantage here. H3 g4 for g5. Okay, he's going in for that horrible check as well. I can bring the king in. So g5 might be interesting. I'm hoping g5 is interesting. Right. A bit short on time. I think I've got to get a move on. This isn't an ideal position. I should have taken away that knight, I think, earlier. What about bishop g8? Just trying to grab this pawn by force. It's a bit pathetic, but I have to go for something. If I can take it, then g6 is on. He could have pinned me though. Now I've got f5, f6, so it's a bit more promising. Surely I'm losing g5. Great. I've got the f pawn still. f6. Nope. Try for f6. I've got to get a move on. Pre-move time. Down to 19 seconds. Uh-oh. Oh. Well, he blundered badly in the end. It's fortunate. Oh dear, oh dear. So I'm with black. And just, this is without the a6, it's an extra tempo on last night. So, and I'm definitely more comfortable with this sort of position. The centre's under quicker fire here. I think the a6 is just virtually an irrelevance. This bishop's the key kind of thing. I'm winning that bishop or a piece straight away. That's good news. Try and get rid of this because king safety would be nice without the f6 square. Alright, can I put pressure on these guys or not? Oh, it's getting interesting. Oh, that challenges the d6 knight. Can I get to play this or not? Well, I think this centre's crumbling. If I win d6, I don't mind losing the exchange. There's also bishop h2 on the cards. Okay, that looks pretty cool. There's a check here which might be handy for queen b7. Okay, he's not. I don't think he's yet winning a piece near because that knight's holding the d6 bishop. My dark squares I don't want to get mated on, so I'll do this. Is there a check here? So that knight f2 is not right here because, but I can maybe do this. Because I don't want to lose the bishop. I would knight f2. Right. So the old knight f2, knight h3 check trick, smother the mate, coming up. Alright, it's a reasonable, it's a good start. It's a bunch on 6. Oh, I could have taken that pawn. So we got a reverse French defence here. I usually like this anyway. Now queen e7 would be blunder because that's c5. I'm controlling that b4. It's handy to have played that. I wonder about knight d4. Get a sort of ready-made attack here. Oh dear, knight d4 here. Okay. It's not so clear, I would hope. I hope it's not that clear because, okay, he's got queen h4. Is it really incredibly dangerous or just a little bit dangerous? If I get rook e1 in, trying to support position. What about queen f2 next? So I'm on the queen. Okay, if I just play d5, that opens up that bishop. Oh, knight f6. Almost tempting. Okay, I think bishop f3 for a moment, king g2 would help consolidate. Connect the rooks is always like reassuring. Ah, that's reassuring as well to point at the king and protect c4. c2 though, what about rook e2 first? Or rook h2 to e2? Rook h2 would do the trick as well, just to go to e2. From there, knight f6 will be good. I can't play it here. King g2, I'm just protecting, attacking. In fact, where does the queen go? It's almost in a bad spot. Queen a2, okay, I'm going to just play on with h4. I want to get in h5, h6. This knight c5 is... oh, bishop c5, well, I think this diagonal is crumbling anyway. Okay, I think this is just crumbling. Okay. So own defense. I don't know what it's called. English opening. I don't know really what it's called, but like a reverse. Nimzo Larsen. English defense, not English opening. It's like sometimes against c4. Can I not just get some play like Nimzo engine on the c4 square? Oh, I've got ready-made kingside attack. Oh, that's pretty nice. Can I close up here? Oh, that's beautiful for c4. If I can get blockade. If I just restrain on both sides of the board here for a sec. So rook h4, then I don't have to worry about that. And blockade on c5, get queen on a4. Okay, it's a bit tied down. Get the king off there. A bit of prophylaxis going on here. I can play for h5, I guess. And treble with king g6 and queen h7, hg, and hope for the best. Whoa! Ah! Okay. This ending, how would I win it? This is a good question. I'm not sure I'm winning that ending. Oh no! I can try and get this position. I'm not sure that's winning. Oh dear. If his knight ever moves, there's knight c5. If his knight doesn't move, I'm not just drawing this. I can go for knight g5. I could encourage his knight never to protect c5 here. His knight's going to come back somewhere. No. Right. How is it at all possible to win this position? That's the big question. Plays knight d3. Nope. What? I think that's a risk not worth taking. What he's just played. That is a bit overloaded, Zugsbang. I think everything's falling to bits now. Oh, nice past the a-pawn. Two pass pawns. Drag it along with the knight. Knight's port. I think it's winning. Okay, so yeah, I think the comfort level from the openings are a lot higher than yesterday. I just think, yeah, if you're worrying about liabilities in the position, it's a bit of a distraction and losing pieces and stuff. But okay. Okay, what's going on here? I think I'm getting pushed back. Actually losing a piece here, almost. If it wasn't for knight e1, that's a bit of a concern. What about knight c2 to e3? Or even this one to e3 straight off the bat. Can I kick this queen, or is it worth it to kick the queen? It's knight g2 to f4. The queen wants to become cozy on h3 here. So knight f4 to kick the queen again. I'm on d5 there, that'll be useful. I'm already on d5 here. I'll take that. So knight f4 might be a nice one. If he sacks the exchange, I don't think there's any collateral damage here. On sacking the exchange, there's no major issue. I can play c4 here to protect b3. Alright, I can threaten. No, I'll protect b3 again. But I wanted to threaten rook e1 for queen f3 for that pin. So now it's b3. Okay, so knight f4 here. This is d5, or what about this queen e4? Isn't queen e4 good? Because well, I can try for queen e4. There's d5 on knight f6. This bishop's looking good. So just bishop takes, maybe queen e4. I'll be on the rook. Bit of a light square strategy in an instant, taking a bishop for knight there. So f3's weaker immediately. Double attack as well. I think winning the rook is better than the knight. f5 just to hold the situation, or not needed. Well, these pawns look pretty good. I think just d6, d7. Right. Okay. This looks like an improved kind of, or rather fun French defense type position. In fact, there's a little trap here for the diagonal castles. This has to be good. So he's not even casting. Win that centre pawn. It looks pretty good. My castle queenside, and let's move check with another pawn here. There's also knight e5. So I'm on this diagonal. Knight f3 is a major threat. Will he take here? I'll still play knight f3. Okay, win this bishop. On the rook. Okay, quick win there. I don't think an f4 was particularly justified. This maybe isn't so hot with double pawns. I don't want knight c6, just developing pieces, but this is pretty horrendous as well in some respects. I'm hoping it's not as bad as it looks. Play f4 and try and discourage this pawn to go away. Okay, I've got this g file potential. Something like queen g1, queen g3, queen g3, knight a3 to c2. What's going on with that rook? Should I be worried? Knight f4, there's rook f4, I don't have to rely on e takes. So queen g3 coming up. If I can just double. Oh, that was remarkably silly. Just losing the exchange there for nothing. Okay, he's not even taking it. Am I falling to bits? So he didn't win the exchange. I'm trying to hold that e3 with the knight. Oh, there's a nasty discovery going on. Oh, there's knight h4. I think that's end of game. Knight h4. I can't see anything after knight h4. Oh, I can play for maybe rook g1, I suppose. Don't really think it does anything. Queen d1. That's rook d1. Is there knight b4, knight d4? Maybe knight. No, I don't think knight d4 does the trick. If I take this, oh no, this is just too painful. I'm just losing everything. Oh, That's really gutting. Ah, dear, oh dear. Resign. Yeah, this rook d1 casualty. Maybe not a good time to meet this guy. We'll see. So g5, g4, little surprise. I guess knight d6 is pretty good. Try and play for queen b6. Why don't I just take the knight? Could I just take that knight? Okay, if the knight moves here, rook g3, almost. That's a bit of a shame. I did take that knight. Oh no. But still, I don't think I've got something here going. What's he up to in this position? This knight g4 could be dangerous. If I play like f5 or something. Oh, if I get the queens off. So he gets the queens off. Was knight e5 as well. Maybe better for rook g3. That gives me potentially d4 if I wasn't losing the bishop. d4 here. It's a bit risky, really. There is rook g2, whatever that's worth. I can threaten to win the rook on b1. That is a good point. Yeah, it's not ideal. Is there an e4? No, I don't think there's even an e4 possibility. Maybe here. Oh, there's rook c4. It's a bit of a shame, this game. Okay. It's giving me a few checking opportunities. Can I get to play e3 check? That might be enough. Nope. Running out of these checks. Pre-move time. No, not the rook. Muppets. Oh, phew. Saved by the bell. Oh. There's a draw. There's a draw. I think this is okay because of d5 possible. Might be quite interesting to play d5 soon. Here, for bishop f5. That gives me cd and bishop e6. I can't really blame the opening for too much at the moment. I think the opening's been quite interesting. Alright, so if I can flood the centre, if I can just play for oh, there's rook f4. Okay. I'm hoping this is still a good position. It looks in some ways quite crushing because I've got a lot of pressure, but his pieces are not seemingly very ideal. So for example, if I take a knight e4, maybe that's threatening something. Well, actually, okay. He's got bishop c5 dynamic. Oh, what about rook f4 would have been good there. Okay. Go for bishop e5. So he's on my rook. It's a bit tactical. So queen f2 coming up. There's knight f6 after, just to get that light square, that dark square bishop. I'm protecting g2 here, which is very fortunate. I guess he has to take. The pre-move, I think, is safe to play because it's illegal. Because I've got a piece on f6, I can play that pre-move. So I'm threatening queen g7, queen h8. Cool. Okay, so yeah. Okay. It's a bit like a French defense strategy. Okay, so I think a point here is that I'm threatening to win the bishop. I think g5, h5. This d4 point just to undermine d4, h5, g4. I'll keep the queen on d8 for a moment. For g5, so can I just play for g4? That'll try and cause some problems on, say, this diagonal. If we get rid of that pawn, that might be handy. Okay. Oh, g4's dropping off. But I get some attacking bits and pieces. Not with that. Okay, knight e4 maybe? Because I want to get that diagonal kind of on the cards for this bishop. Okay, what about knight? We'll just play knight g3. Check and take the rook. Get the centre. I'm going to play e5 at some point. Well, knight takes with d4 will be interesting. I suppose bishop e4, is he really holding everything? If I take on e3, or what about rook? Check doesn't do anything. Not yet, anyway. So the rook check doesn't do anything. Can I just pin that guy for rook h3 as a threat? And e5. I think that's a safe pre-move. Okay, it's okay, quite good fun. I think, yeah, it might be okay to do this again. This one, oh, mind you, that brings back bad memory of an earlier round. It's slightly different. 97 c5, okay. Can I aim just to castle queenside here? I don't know if g3 first, because otherwise f2 is a problem. Okay, if I get the knight rounds. Queen c3 just to get rid of the queen. I can sort of strengthen the centre. Oh, there's a fixed target now, d5. Okay, there's a little bit of space here. Mind you, okay, check, there's bishop c3. This could be handy for peeling a file. So a5. If I take that just for rook g7, isn't that a practical thing? Just rook g7 gives me a7 potentially. Is he really going to go on the a file like that? Okay, if rook b8, that's rook f7, just on the knight. And this is anything stronger. Taking, I don't think I need anything much stronger because I just need a tempo for a7. Okay, I'll get the rooks off here. I think rook d7 or just knight d5 or b6. I think knight d5 to e7. Okay, I'll take this guy first. Does it matter about losing a piece? I think it's probably the more dynamic to lose a piece here. Oh, 24 seconds. I've got to be a bit careful here. It's not over, although these pawns look as though they should be winning. C7's on the cards. B7's mate. Okay, so yeah, interesting. Okay, 22 minutes to go. This is a bit like Sicilian. I have to protect d6, okay. I've weakened the d5 square, so I'm going to stop the use of bishop g5. I'm going to play knight d4 and try and have a sort of bind on the position. I guess. Alright, complete for d5 or something later. Or f5, maybe f5's better. How dangerous is this? I can do an exchange sack, potentially, on f3. Would he take here? If I can just win f3, I think that'll be something. Intriguing. Okay, surely I've got enough here. I have to work this knight somewhere useful. These pawns look pretty good in the centre. Maybe e4 of king d2. That looks just far too dangerous, what he's doing. Someone's on 151, unfortunately. I think just queen d3. Okay. So who's this guy on 151? It's that 2394. Okay. I played him earlier. Okay. I think I'll play f4 here. He hasn't gone for anything too radical. I'll play bishop b5. Actually, that gives me queen h5. There's g6. There's queen d5. It takes on. Okay. Can I not just win the pawn like this? But there's no check. Okay. I'll just get the queen out of the way. Or knight c3. I'll be on e4 here, it's centre pawn. Okay, there is that. Okay, if I get to play knight e4, it'd be good for the diagonal. There's f5, knight b5. Try and get this dark square bishop on the rook. Otherwise knight e4 on f6. Okay, so let's see. I can just hold the pressure on f6. I can get to knight g5 on h7 and e6. If I can win the dark square bishop, I think that would be cool because I think it should be okay. Control that d5 square, bishop e5 or bishop c3. I think bishop c3 for a moment. Right, try and use my pawn majority. I can play king f3 and g4. Use this g file now. Try and just get on this over here. Rook c7 should be handy. I'm going for h5, rook g6 or bishop e5. Try and clamp down. I think e4, because he's in a sort of pin, so f5 should be good fun for f6. Let's check, we'll just crawl in a bit more. If I can win h6, I think that'll be something. What about if I go over here? Try and win these pawns. Right, it's making things tricky. I can win this one. I think this check. Oh, Muppets. Still 2 pawns. 2 pawns is 2 pawns. Okay, bit of a cluster, 15 minutes to go. I'm not winning games that quickly. That's the problem tonight. Okay, a 14-30. Sort of like Sicilian closed. If I clap down on d4, or let him play for d4, I mean this c file could be handy. He's not playing for d4 though. So can I play for d5? Try and liberate this bishop. Oh, that knight's on at h4. Try and keep an eye on that, but that knight's on. So knight f5. I'll take that now. I'll put the bishop back on f6. And this is knight d4 here. Knight d4. Double attack the queen. Okay, that puts me a little bit more on track. Yeah, I need some quick wins, just quick wins. Okay, this guy's not doing too hot in the tournament at the moment. Oh, I think f5 is potentially quite tasty. If I just swing the rook in. And maybe swing the other rook in. Oh, thinking is quite tasty, surely. What about f6? I'll take f6. No, I need to open up that. So he's on the queen. Okay. I've still got I think I've still got some attacking stuff going on, but it's not that convincing really. If I play for c4, c5 just to get this diagonal, get a pin. Okay, I think oh, this is getting tricky. Oh, 94. Uh-oh. What's happening? Losing control of this position. Oh, e3's dropping. Great. Oh man, chaos. How about knight d6 or bishop f3? Right, I'll take this guy for bishop f6. g5. Then f6. It's got 10-second advantage. Okay, his 10-second advantage is dropping a little bit. Ah, he's still material up here. 95 though might be useful. So there's knight g6 or knight d7. Okay. It's taken me down to the 26 seconds. Right, so 9 minutes 46. I think c5, threatening to win the bishop. I don't think it matters about bishop exchange. Play for f6 in this g file. Try and just coordinate on g2. So e5 coming up gives me a good centre. Unpin a knight e5, so king b8, knight e5. Oh, there's d5. Okay. It's not ideal. Maybe I'm threatening rook g3 now. Okay. Rook g2, it's got f3 coming up. Mind you, there's queen g5. Someone's threatening mate. There's bishop f3 on queen. There isn't queen c2. Okay, so bishop g2. Ah, okay. Right. These people have got a lot more games. 22, 25, 24. I was supposed to play 16. Where have I been playing 16 games? Yeah, c4 isn't such a problem as last night with the b4 orangutan. I'm not really orangutan guru, so I don't know. I think there's other perks to it which I missed. So knight e5 coming up. Can I evict that queen or something? Or bishop c1 just to kick it away. I think I'll double the pawns there. I think queen d2 for bishop g5. Okay. If I get rid of this guy for a moment. There's rook h3 on the cards. Seems to be underestimating rook h3 for some reason. Although rook c3, yeah, I mean, that's a problem. It's queen d6 though, queen d6. For rook h8. Bit lucky there. 5 minute 48. The little cluster here. Protect c4. Right. So we have another kind of similar position, French type position. Should I be worried about this f5 particularly? I'm just wondering about the crumbling of white's centre. Is he really going to take that? I think f6 and even g5 spring to mind. We're just taking and then g5 after. Okay, there is a check. There's quite a weakness on this diagonal, so that bishop's more effective. I'm going to take this rook. My queen's on the firing line. Actually, you can take his queen now. Queen b7 is knight d6, so probably queen c6 is knight a7. So I've got to be a bit careful. Okay, I think that's a good outcome because I'm actually protecting h4. Right. This bishop's kind of stuck, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to try and rescue the bishop or lose it here. There's no queen e4. Pin the rook, just in case. What can I do with this rook? Something like... oh, why don't I just take that bishop? Right, it's rook f1, king e2, queen g4. Right, it's queen h4. Nope, he's running away. Okay, I think a different attack on this. Bishop d5 coming up. Right, c4 here, queen b3. Get this bishop again. Actually, there is rook f1 on king c1. That's quicker. Okay, 2 minute 34 to go. Now Hunk was pretty prepared for my grab the other night. I'm not sure I played the b4 against him. I think as far as dark square strategy goes, bishop c6 would have been handy. Okay, looks awkward. Okay, I'll take this guy. I'm gonna have to take this guy. Knight g2 to f4. Okay, I can take here. Okay, there's knight f6 on bishop. Oh, I do win the queen, it's double check, thankfully. Power of double check. I want to take on c5, play e6 to e6. Because e4, e5. Knight f3, e5. I think e7 is pretty quick. Let him off the hook. Yes. Knight e5 coming up. Oh, he resigned. Oh, but it's too late for the old positioning. But yeah, fifth. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.